Hello everyone, here we are again. My name is Bob. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence and gameplays. We are now playing some Do Viz game. It's an old-fashioned game that we are doing some kind of reinforcement learning, and I will show you what I'm developing right now, and you can see what is going on with first my very first development. Okay, here we have the Doom game being played. I will run that right now. And as you can see here, we have the Doom game being played. We have two enemies shooting at me. I am doing nothing at all because my player is not running at all at this time, and I'm having getting some kind of shooting over my head, and I'm doing nothing because I am not running my player right by this time. Well, first thing we need to have in mind when we are talking about doing some game player, our player must need to understand our environment, do some actions into this environment, and when our player do some kind of actions on the environment, they will receive some kind of rewards and something like that. Because we are trying to do some kind of reinforcement learning. So let's suppose we have our agent. Well, my we have our agent here, and our agent are applying some actions on the environment, and the environment will return us another update of their state. Based when we apply some kind of actions, the environment will be updated, and that's the reason that we are applying some actions. And at the same time, they retrieved for us a reward, and that is how we evaluate the how good or how worse was our action based on the scenario. Well, here is our agent is here, and everything all it's our environment. That is what's going on here, and let's try to do some kind of intervention. Because I am using visual doom that we call VIZDOOM. The It's important to understand that I can grab some kind of information that a normal player that didn't have access. For example, a normal player just have the screen to see players, see enemies, see the scores and something like that. But I have a lot of other kinds of information based on this game, because this is made it just for running artificial intelligence. But at that time, I am not using any kind of privileged information that the game can give for me. I am just using a normal and a standard, a normal and standard neural network. Oh, I started the wrong detection here. And I am using a standard detection based on deep neural networks, where it's based on YOLO v5. And what this guy is doing, the screen will pop up right now. What this guy is doing is capturing the screen of this game, and that's it's the main idea. And before and after they capture the screen, they try to detect people. It's just like a webcam working. This just the same example of work using a webcam with deep learning neural network running. Instead of using a webcam, I am grabbing the frame of the screen, and I am applying this detection. As you can see, my enemies are not being pretty much well detected, because the left one is pretty much well detected than the right one. But at the same time, they both are not being pretty much detected. The bounding box are still blinking every time. It's not a good detection. We need to have in mind that this is not a good detection. But why this is happening? Because I am not using I am not have trained This neural network for this specific game, this neural network that I am using right now is a standard one based on the Coco dataset, and for that reason, my detection is not pretty much well at this time. But for the very first training, this seems to be pretty much well, because with just that kind of detection, we can already make some kind of intervention into that game. Second thing important is that, as you can see in the end of this hall, we have something blinking, there's something shining, and this is an armor. And this armor means that the end of the game is occurring right now. But we don't that we are not detecting the armor right now. This is a problem, because for that reason, yes, we need to make some kind of detection based on that game, just to detect the armor and something like that, objects and other objects that are using in this game. Let's go to run my player. My player will try to centralize in the enemies and shoot them. That was my player is doing right now. Where is my first player? Yes, here I am. My player is just a script that I running in my machine in Python. Okay, now you can see that my player is working. They killed these two guys, but as soon they killed these two guys, they stopped doing anything, because there is no enemy on the screen and there is nothing else to do. The game will restart after 1,000 frames, and the enemies will appear again, and we can do we can do another try using that kind of simulation. Well, this is pretty much important, because if I do not, when I am not detecting the objects on the screen, and it means when our artificial intelligence needs to detect some things on the screen. Let's run the second time my player and see what happened. Okay, they will try to okay, they didn't know what, well, they were killed for the first time. Let's try. Well, this is pretty bad detection. That's pretty bad detection, make my player pretty dumb also. We need to improve that detection in order to make a better player. We are running this game in the beginner mode, but as soon as we started to run in the hard levels, my player will not be able to survive at least 1 second, because they will start to shoot into me in a perfect way that is not occurring right now. For that reason, we need to train this model again, and this is the first stage that this gameplay that I will do, is to improve my detection, and even these objects that are being not detected by this time, because I need to detect that armor, I need to detect other things, and as soon as I started to run over this room, there's a lot of other enemies that will appear, and I will need to detect them also. That's the reason we need to improve our detection. The second thing important is we have to have at least 2 different objectives. My main objective is to find that armor and get the armor, but at the same time, I need to protect myself against enemies. This is a kind of approach based on separated goals, instead of a single one goal that tries to maximize our reward, no matter how, with just a single objective. A lot of artificial intelligence based on reinforcement learning just have one single objective, and they don't have small objectives in the middle of the gameplay. But for my development, I will do major objective is get the armor. Second objective is keep alive while you try to get this armor. In other words, when someone appears on the screen, shoot it. Try to shoot it. Try to avoid them if you don't have any kind of ammo, and that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this gameplay. I hope you have enjoyed this Doom my very start beginning of this Doom gameplay. If you are interested and see where this gameplay will goes, please let me a comment right now, and please leave me an answer, leave me a question, because I will be so glad to answer you when some kind of questions came to me. Let me see if there is someone talking about right now. Well, there is. I believe that is not is there is no kind of answer, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sharing. Share this video. Give me a like.